Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I am bringing you another how-to video. This one concerns a mod that's been around for quite some time now. I played it quite a bit, and I've got a request or two to do an install video for it. I think there are some other install videos on YouTube, but I don't think I'm hoping that they're not going to be as in-depth as mine. Just because Stainless Steel is a little confusing because you have to download Stainless Steel 6.3 first, and then install 6.4 over top of 6.3, and then install the patch over top of that 6.4 that we just installed. So it's a little bit confusing. I'm going to try to do a complete live rendition for you now, save for the fact when I install 6.3. Originally, I'll get the status bar going, and then we'll cut it kind of to the end of that, just because it takes about 7 minutes or so. But yeah, so basically we need to just start at moddb.com. So you can see that it's just reflected here. You just have to go basically to moddb.com, and then in the little search icon, if you start typing stainless steel, it's the first one at the top. So if you click on that, then it's going to bring you to this web page here. And then if you scroll down, it's got a couple of articles, but mainly what we're looking for is these two files here. So we got stainless steel 6.4, and then we've got the patch as well. So we'll need both of these. So you could open them up in a new window. I've got them reflected right here. So the first thing we're going to need is stainless steel 6.4, so the original one. Now this contains 6.3 plus the 6.4 edition. So just make sure that it's 2.56 gigabytes when you download it, because we need to make sure that all the file data is there. And then again for the patch, it's pretty small, 131 megabytes, so we just want to make sure that that is conclusive as well. So all you got to do is hit download now, and it should start to bring up a little downloads bar on the bottom of the screen, just like that. So I'm going to cancel it because I already have it, but you can see that it's beginning the download. So do that for the patch and for the original file. The patch would only take a couple of minutes depending on your internet speed, but the actual file might take a little longer, about 10 minutes or so. And then once we finish that, basically what we need to do is you need to find your downloads folder. So for me, I actually have all of mine in a different file, but for most people, the default downloads folder is right here. So it would be somewhere in this area. But for me, I've got it in my mod downloads over here. So you should have something along these two lines. So we've got the stainless steel 6.4 patch, and then we've got the 6.4 stainless steel. So we need both of these, and if you just click on them, you can see at the bottom here we've got 2.55 gigabytes, which was good, and we've got the patch 131 megabytes. So we know that they downloaded properly, so that's good. Now the next thing we need to do is open up another window, and we're going to have to go to where our Medieval 2 mods folder is. So mine's on my my SSD, so we're going to go to local C, program files 86, Steam, Steam apps, common, Medieval 2, and the mods folder. So this is where we're going to want to put our 6.3 and 6.4. So you can see that I do not have a 6.3 file there. That's because I'm just going to be going through it live with you guys. So the first thing we need to do is do the stainless steel 6.4. We'll worry about the patch later. So if you double click on that, don't need to buy that. And then basically all you have to do is click on it and hit extract to. And then we're going to go to local C, program files 86, Steam, Steam apps, common, Medieval 2, and just select the mods folder. We don't have to go into the mods folder, just select it, and we'll hit OK. And then you can see that the stainless steel 6.4 folder is coming here. Now this isn't the end folder. This is just the data that we're going to use to install the game on. Okay. So we'll let that download. It's not going to take too long. There we go. So we can go ahead and close that. And then basically what we need to do is open this folder here. And now you can see the stainless steel 6.3 install and the 6.4 install. Okay, so basically what we have to do first is to double click on the stainless steel 6.3. And this is going to load up the install setup. Now, this is the one that I told you is going to take the longest, so we'll probably make a quick cut after I get it downloaded. But this is very, very important. So we need to make sure that the mapping is proper. So for me, program file is 86. Yep, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Medieval 2, Total War, mods, and then it's going to create this 6.3 folder. Okay, so make sure that this is correct. Like, make sure it doesn't say, for those of you guys that don't have Steam, this may say like Sega Medieval 2 mods, and that's okay. But if you're a Steam user, make sure that it's going to this pathway. So that's being created properly, so we just have to hit next, and it'll make a shortcut for us, so that's fine. Next. And it's just confirming and install. So basically this is going to take about 4 to 5 minutes, so I'm just going to make a cut here, and we'll come back as soon as it's finished. Alright guys, we are back, and as you can see, it's just finishing the download now, and you're going to get this little pop-up here, so you can kind of choose which kind of campaign you want to do, an early era campaign or a late era campaign. It's totally up to you which one you want to do. I usually prefer the late era campaign, so I'm just going to click on that. And then there's a bunch of these extra things you can put into the campaign, so I'm not going to explain all of them for you because they come with a little snippet about what they actually are and what they do. I personally play with Savage AI and Permanent Arrows, and you can just hit OK. And then once you hit finish on this, it's going to actually launch 6.3. That's very, very good. Let it do it. Make sure that your 6.3 works before you move on to 6.4. So if it doesn't work at this stage, go back and try the steps that I've shown you again. So I'm going to have to make a quick cut here while it launches up just because of my recording software. But as soon as I close it, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so hopefully that launch was successful for you guys, and as soon as it booted up, you should have seen it come up with Stainless Steel 6.3, so if you got to the main menu screen and everything, we should be good so far. So basically what we have to do next is install 6.4 over top of 6.3. So we'll go ahead and double-click the Stainless Steel 6.4 launcher, and we're going to have to go through this setup wizard again. So again, make sure that the pathway is correct. It's going into the Stainless Steel 6.3 folder. It doesn't need to be a separate one. It needs to go into the same folder as we installed before. So we can hit next. Yep, stainless steel, create a desktop icon, and install. And I'll kind of leave this one because this one really doesn't take too long. And what it's basically doing is it's taking all of the 6.4 files and it's just overwriting the 6.3 files. So we're essentially taking all of the data for 6.4 and just building off of 6.3. So that's why I said this is not a standalone 6.4. You need to have the previous version for it to work. But you can already see that it's much quicker. We're already almost finished. Okay, and hit next. And then we're going to run the setup again. So we can hit finish there. And now we got this 6.4 pop-up here. So for the translations, there's 3 choices here. English is the default, so that's what I'm going to choose. And then for the campaign again, late era campaign, I'm going to click on. And then you can see that it already auto-populates with this. This is a very interesting mechanic. I've tried it 5 or 10 times, and it consistently does this. So I play with Savage AI and Permanent Arrows. I don't want the permanent watchtowers, but if I go to uncheck it, it immediately crashes. So I don't know if that's the same with you guys as well if you select any of these other ones, but that's okay. If you back out and then go into the Stainless Steel 6.3 folder and then see this Stainless Steel setup wand here, if you click that again, then it gives you the option to go back in and do it again. And the second time, for some reason, it works. You can see that I can uncheck it and check it, no problem, and then hit OK. So you guys will just have to play around, but just so you know that that crash is completely normal and it hasn't affected my gameplay as of yet. So what I'm going to do is hit OK, and we're going to, it's going to launch 6.4 this time, but I'm going to cut that again. We'll close it down, and I'll see you back here once we've finished confirming that 6.4 works. Alright guys, so that should have been a success for you as well, and if you saw the loading screen, it now changed from Stainless Steel 6.3 to Stainless Steel 6.4. So we're on the right track so far. We just have one more thing that we need to do. So basically we need to go back to our downloads and get that 6.4 patch. So all we have to do on this one is double click to open it up. And I'm sure WinRare will ask me to buy, yep. And if you double click on the stainless steel, you just have to get this exe file and drag it into 6.3. So just drag it and drop it into stainless steel 6.3 there. And we can exit that, and we're all done in our downloads folder, so we don't need that. And we're actually done with this stainless steel 6.4 installation folder as well. So we could just drop that into the recycle bin. And if we go double click into here, so you should have the stainless steel 6.4 launcher right here. So this is the setup for the patch. So we just double click that. And again, we're going to go through the exact same setup, make sure it's in the right spot. And this one should also be pretty quick. And you can see at the top too, stainless steel patch 6.4. So we know that we're installing the correct one. And we just gotta wait. So it takes a little bit longer than the actual 6.4 download, but again, not as long as 6.3. And there we go, next. And it's going to launch this once again. And this is the last time you should have to do this, but you can obviously launch this setup back if you get tired of playing the late campaign or you want to change any of the settings, go to the early campaign, and then relaunch it from there. But we just got to do this again. So I'm going to try to get rid of the watchtowers. It crashes. So I just go to the WAN stainless steel setup, light era, remove those, and hit OK. And then I'm going to hit start and exit, and then we're done. So I'm going to make the cut here, and we're going to load into 6.4, and I will show you a campaign turn so that you know that it works, and I'll also try to get just a quick test battle in. Alright guys, so we have loaded into stainless steel 6.4, so you can see obviously that it is working. You can see the stainless steel 6.4 at the top, and this is a build on Medieval 2 Kingdoms, so I forgot to mention, but I do believe that you need the Medieval 2 Kingdoms downloadable content, like the DLC, for it to work. As I've always said on all my install videos, make sure it's a game that you own. No illegally downloaded or cracked versions will work. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in. We got our late era campaign there, so if you guys chose the early era campaign, it'll say so right in this section. And yeah, just look at the feel here. They've even added a couple of interesting factions. We got Denmark here, Republic of Genoa. This one, the Khwarezmian Empire. That's very interesting. But yeah, I'm just going to jump in as Venice, and we'll get that loaded up working. But yeah, I've made a lot of stainless steel. It's definitely a mod that's really worth it, especially you guys that just like to play Medieval 2. I know that a lot of the other, other Total War games and the new Warhammers that are coming out, they're very expensive. So Medieval 2 is kind of a good option because it's pretty cheap. But yeah, so you can see that's working. They've kind of redone the map. There's a couple of extra cities that weren't here before. But basically, I'm just going to move my army out here and siege Bologna.
This is where we shall meet the enemy.
And end the turn, so you guys can see that it doesn't do that one-turn crash that a lot of mods do on the campaigns if they're downloaded incorrectly. And the Papal States will probably want trade or something.
Our people have something to discuss. We cannot
just rejected. Alright, well, trade is fine.
Forget it.
It doesn't really even matter. It's not like I'm going to play this through. But yeah, they got the Cuman Khanate, the Golden Horde. Really interesting factions. Obviously, Kingdom of France, Holy Roman Empire, England. You got to have them in every campaign. And here they come. So we're going to just turn around and attack them so you can see that the battles are working. But I really like the coat of arms, or the sigils, as well. I think they're a lot more colorful, a lot more authentic looking than in the vanilla Medieval 2. But 6.4, like, it's a super popular mod. One thing I actually will note, though, does this kind of not look like from afar? It kind of looks like Batman a little bit. That's what it reminds me of. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and jump in against these guys. Show you obviously the battle portion as well. Now I think that this is custom and multiplayer doubles, so you can play this with other friends online. Stainless Steel 6.4 as well, the same version. Like, so if you have 6 and your friend has 6.3, it probably won't work. You're gonna have to both follow the video and you know, adjust accordingly. But yeah, we've got everything working. No crashes so far. It's looking pretty good. Just charge forwards. I think that they changed around a few units. As you can see here, we've got some Pavi's Spear Militia, so they look pretty cool. It's just a crisper, you know, nicer version from the medieval, the vanilla medieval 2, I should say. But yeah, we're already going to charge in here with my cavalry militia. There we go. Nice charge. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this mod. I hope for those of you that requested it, it works out for you and that it is informative. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more how-to videos in the future, and I will see you in the next one.